Jim, you're up first.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gaddy, and good evening. Thank you all so much. Chris, I appreciate the chance to join you all. To the Student Congress that helped put this together. It really has been my honor to serve you for the last year plus. When Governor Henry and I sat down and talked about the role of the Corporation Commission, we went into greater detail, of course, than Dr. Gaddy had a chance to share. But understand this about the Corporation Commission. Every day that body is charged with making decisions that impact your life, your family's budget, the safety of your transportation. It is a body that literally is entangled in your life and has, I think, enormous responsibility to do it right. Within the introduction, I'd like to spend just a minute telling you a little bit more about myself beyond the introduction that Chris was kind enough to mention. As he said, I did serve in local government. It was an honor to serve the citizens of Oklahoma County, District 1, and I want to tell you a little bit about that journey just briefly. I found myself as an employee working in an environment that I thought had lost its way. I was an attorney working in the courthouse, and I thought the incumbent commissioners thought it was more about themselves than serving the public. I had a professional reason to step forward and try to unseat that incumbent. I also had a personal reason, but first the professional. The incumbent had ballooned her staff to 58 full-time employees. She'd hired her campaign manager's son for $60,000 a year. She was having illegal closed-doors meetings that the district attorney was having to break up. The courthouse had turned people away from the center of justice that it's always supposed to be in our democracy. At the same time, my grandmother, who was in her 80s, had lost both of her legs to poor circulation. She lost one leg and got a prosthetic, lost her second leg, and was ultimately confined to a wheelchair. And in her 80s, she had to sell her home to afford health care in this country. And it really offended me. Working in that environment, looking at a democracy that was not representing the people, and knowing the own struggles of my family, I decided I needed to serve. I needed to step forward, and I resigned my job and campaigned, and we were successful because we connected with people about the purpose of our participatory democracy. When I took office, I knew it was mismanaged, but I'll share just briefly how bad it was. Of those 58 employees that I inherited, I learned that 22 of them were related to each other. I learned that my predecessor superintendent had hired his son, his daughter, his nephew, and his brother-in-law on the public payroll. The brother-in-law was on the payroll as a truck driver without a legal driver's license. In fact, I inherited 14 truck drivers on the payroll, but only 7 trucks, 5 that worked. With the help of the district attorney, I had to terminate 20 people, which is always tough to do, but allowed me to save $2 million over my first term in office, which allowed me to build 8 new bridges and pave over 65 miles of road without a tax increase. While my predecessor had spent 62 cents of every gas tax on staff, I was able to spend just 31% every year I was in office. The public was kind enough to rehire me in 2006, and I became the first county commissioner in Oklahoma County in almost a decade rehired. And I'm grateful for that, because that means that I honored my oath to serve each of them. In 2007, when I learned that Denise was considering vacating the Corporation Commission, I had a conversation with the governor about the enormous impact and responsibility of this body. Yet I shared with him, why do we in Oklahoma not know more about it? Why do we not often know who the 3 corporation commissioners in fact are? If they're making decisions that impact our lives and what we pay for electricity, or the safety of our rail crossings, or what the activity of oil and gas looks like for our state, why don't we know, and why shouldn't we be expecting more from them? And I sat down with him and I said, this is my purpose of public service. If you think what I have done in Oklahoma County has value to serve the entire state, I would be honored to serve in this opportunity. And I shared with him that day that while I have taken an oath to serve the public, I've never worked for a regulated industry. My paycheck has never been based off of the profitability of an oil and gas company or a public utility or a phone company. Instead, I've been working for you. And he said, I think that's great. I think we need a citizen on the Corporation Commission, and he asked me to join up. Since June of 2007, it's been my honor to serve you. We have a lot to talk about tonight, but I wanted you to know a little bit about myself, and I wanted to begin with a word of thanks, because you are my employer, the citizens of Oklahoma. I work for you, and I begin every day with that idea, and I close every day grateful that you've given me this chance. Ms. Murphy, welcome.
Thank you, Commissioner Roth. Judge Murphy, the floor is yours.
Great, thank you so much. It's a really great privilege to be here. Thank you so much for having me. And although I'm a graduate of Oklahoma State, and I'm very proud to be a graduate, I want you to know that my grandmother Nemechek is actually a graduate from the University of Oklahoma, and she married my granddad, who who went to Oklahoma A&M, so we've already had a mixed house of Sooners and Cowboys. And my mom's here in the audience, and I can tell you, she cheers just as loud for the Sooners as she does the Cowboys. It's really terrific, too, because I have a young nephew here that is now actually working on his master's degree in archaeology. He actually graduated from Alva, from Northwestern Oklahoma State, and my family's really pleased that he's here working on his archaeology degree. I'll tell you, I'm here just for a simple reason. It's really simple. I don't need this job. I want it. I want this job because this race, it's not about Dana Murphy. It's about all of you. It's about our future and the steps that we're going to take to lead us into a better Oklahoma tomorrow. That's what this is about. All of my education, all of my experience, and the most incredible blessings of my life came right here in Oklahoma. Don't we hear it all the time? We need to provide our children with great educational opportunities here, great job opportunities so they can get a job here. And guess what? I am living the Oklahoma dream because all that has happened to me right here. I'm so proud to be a fifth-generation Oklahoman, born to Don and Carol Murphy from a place many of you have never heard of in far northwestern Oklahoma, May, Oklahoma. The sister to three brothers, Mark, Todd, and Thad, and yes, they take all the credit for toughening me up and making me the person that I am today. When it came to role models and mentors in my life, you know something? I never had to look very far, and why? Because they came right in my own family, from my grandparents to my parents to my brothers, and from them I learned the value of hard work and dedicated service to people and the task at hand. As they mentioned in my bio, I'm a geologist. I actually sat on wells, worked in the oil patch, got my hands dirty, and I will tell you, Oklahoma is proud to be where it is today, riding on the back of the oil and gas industry and the agriculture industry, and that is what has made Oklahoma what it is today. We have so much to be thankful and grateful for. I served as administrative law judge at the Corporation Commission for almost 6 years, where I heard over 5,000 cases. For my service there, I was honored to receive the 1997 Co-Employee of the Year Award and the 2001 Commissioner's Public Servant Award, and not just for the work I did in the commission, for the work I did outside, traveling all around the state of Oklahoma, letting people know what the Corporation Commission does. There's a simple acronym that I'll let you know right up front, and my 17-year-old niece helped me come up with this. And what is it that gives you the fundamentals of the Corporation Commission? TOP, T-O-P-P, transportation, oil and gas, petroleum storage tanks, and public utilities. Every time you flip a light switch in your dorm room, every time you go fill up your vehicle with gasoline, every time you pass a railroad crossing, every time you pass trucks, you've been impacted by the most powerful agency in the state of Oklahoma. It should matter who you elect in a time of serious energy issues and financial situations facing us in Oklahoma and everyone across America. We need to be looking for the most experienced people that have been in the private sector, had success in government, and have both rural and urban roots. This race is about us and where we're going to head tomorrow. It's about energy to get the job done, experience to do the job best, and excellence in Oklahoma. Why? Not because it should be done, but because it can be done. You should expect, you should demand, and you deserve the best and the highest good from those you elect to represent you in public office. I would be honored, incredibly honored, to have your vote, to have your support as we move forward into November 4th. I appreciate you all being here because I know that you're busy students and you have a lot of other things that you could probably be doing other than this. So thank you for all of you being here, and I will say this for all of you college students, thanks for getting involved. Regardless of who you're supporting, you are the future. You're who is going to take us, Oklahoma is going to take us forward and into the future, and I'm really proud to see such a great group here. So regardless of who you support, Thanks for being here. I hope you'll get more involved, and maybe one day we're actually looking right in this room at the future leaders of those who are going to run for the offices. So I say congratulations to you for being here and giving us your time. Thank you.